Good evening, Jaden! Ha mga nagkikita yan na, I just want to extend my heartfelt gratitude kay nag-tune in ka mo at this part. And if you have friends that are not watching pa, still not watching and tuning in this live stream, you still have time to tag them and mention them because I know it will all be worth it. And this is a way of sharing Jesus to them as well. Why hope in the darkness? As everyone knows, we have this campaign for a month-long celebration of New Life Katbalogan anniversary, and we have this campaign Hope Alive. And I've been praying and praying, Lord, what is it really that you want to share, especially to your young people, to my generation, Lord? And it dawned to me that I have this kind of habit, a really bad habit, as you can say, that I always scroll to my cell phone. I scroll and scroll, and all you read is this, and this, and this, and this. Also, once you watch the news on the TV, you also see this and all of this. And as a young person living in these perilous times, grabe nga heart, grabe nga cry out kan Lord, kay mismo kita nakaka-experience or nakakabatihan mga pakianan, mga tao. Questions like, Lord, how am I gonna learn this time? Lord, when will this pandemic be over? May daliwat mga nagpapakiana na, when will I stop being anxious, being worried about it? And will my family be okay? Will we survive this pandemic or this crisis? We're just asking overall na, Lord, kaya ano ini natatabo? Why are you letting this happen? All these questions are running in the minds of those people who feel like they are in the darkness. And don't you know, someone in the Bible in the name of Habakkuk, who is a prophet from the Old Testament, also asked God the same thing. He also asked God, why are you letting this happen? In Habakkuk chapter 1 verses 2 to 3, he said, how long, Lord, must I call for help, but you do not listen, or cry out to you violence, but you do not save? These are the verses where you can see nga Habakkuk mismo, usa nga propeta, nagko-question kan Lord. Diba? These are sad times. And maybe gin-overlook tala ito because on other believers, syempre, we feel that we have Christ in us. But how about those people who are still stuck in the darkness? And these people may tend to see God in this kind of perspective. Number one, they see that God doesn't seem to really care. Oh God, wala ka man pakialam akon. Asya, amo lagi piling akong mga problema. Number two, God isn't doing much even when He could. Lord, powerful ka man, magamhanon ka man, kaya di rin maging babago tak sitwasyon. And number three, they have this kind of perspective that what God is doing doesn't seem fair. Pero kay hiralugod nga mga corrupt, may mga maglaing nga nahimo era kinabuhi, hiralugod ang nakakatagamtamhan mga abundansya nga mga blessings, kaya kami nagkukuri. And these perspectives really get into these people's minds. God is never like that. And when you consider yourself that you are hurting, you are down, you are feeling, you are in the darkness, two things that I want to share to you that you need to do. Two things that I think that are so simple, ora-ora. Number one is to listen. In Habakkuk chapter 2 verse 1, he said, I will look to see what He will say to me. Habakkuk said, I will stand on my watch and look to see what God will say to me. Imagine Habakkuk, a prophet, crying out to God, giving all his concerns and complaints. Grabe na nga pagreklamo ang Ginoo. Tapos-tapusan, hiya na lang mismo nagyakan, Lord, I will stand on my watch and look to see what you will say to me. I hope sugad liwat kita. Because sometimes the reason that we are not getting answers to our questions from God, because we are not willing to take time, pause, and hear. Not just hear, but listen for God to reveal Himself to us. In Psalms 46 verse 10, do you know that it says, "Be still and know that I am God." Be still, my child. Listen and be still. He didn't say, magpaka-busy ka. Ura-ura, sige, himuan imo mga kareg himuan dida. And know that I am God. Nope, it is not said that way. But He said, be still and know that I am God. So again, number 1, listen. And the second thing to do when you are hurting or when you are feeling down is to wait. Wait patiently. Not just wait, but there's an attitude of patience. If you are patient, type in, patience is a virtue. Again, kung hindi ko consider mo yourself nga patient ka nga pagkatawo, type in there, comment down, patience is a virtue. Okay, so in Habakkuk chapter 2 verse 3, it says there, "For the revelation awaits an appointed time." So there's an appointed time. And what do you do if there's an appointed time? You wait for it. It speaks of the end and will not prove false. Though it linger, wait for it. Again, though it linger, though masakit, though nagre-remain lagi ang problema, it says there, wait for it. Because your hope, your light will certainly come and it will not delay. Wow, what an amazing word from Habakkuk. Imagine Moses being used by God. You know the story of Moses, right? But what happened to Moses? He went on a 40-year road trip. Wow! Who can do that? Hino haiyo ang kaya mag-road trip for 40 years. Non-stop. And paliko-liko pa ora-ora. See? It takes that span of time. Also, Apostle Paul. Who knows Apostle Paul here? He is a great example of real patience, of real waiting. Diba? He said, "I am compelled to preach the gospel." And then he waited. And then after 13 years, if I'm not mistaken, after 13 years passed by, he gets to preach his very first message. Most of us can't wait to get out on this darkness season anymore. Pero that's why it's called season for a reason. Kaya season nga ni nalabay. It shall come to pass. And all we need to do is wait. Listen and wait. And if may mga what ifs ka mo kinabuhi, may mga what if liwat ako, hininga message. Everyone who's listening right now, what if it takes real pain for us to experience real and abiding hope? What if drawing closer to God requires you to bear something that feels unbearable? And right now, diri ni apin akong outline, by the way. I am being reminded by one of the preachings of our lead pastor, Pastor Paul Lapura, when he shared a video about people clinging to God. It is said there, kung imo kinabuhi, permila malipayon, permila cloud9, permila adhat tuktukan mundo, waray ka problema. How will you expect God to enter in your life? Ikaw ba mismo, nga feeling mo, okay na nga tanan, madaop pa ka Ginoo, makilala pa iya? I think not. That's why these times, troubled times, problems, challenges, really come our way. And as we end, allow me to share to you a brief demonstration. This I got from attending a service in Manila, and I was really inspired by it, and I just wanted to share to you right now. Maybe you'll get something from it. So this represents you, me, ourselves. This is a vessel. This is your vessel. I have here balls. These balls represent the problems that we are facing and that are really coming into our lives. For example, the problem now with education, most of us are really having challenges, particularly during online classes, and most of us are also thinking to stop this school year. Also, those people who have family problems. Parents are fighting with each other, waray katapusan nga pag-inaway, na mismo hera apektado na gihap. Also, problems about finances. You consider yourself as financially drained. Your family cannot afford this or that anymore, and you don't know where to get your resources. And because of that, you're insecure. You're insecure because others are living a happy life. Others are showing in their Instagram good posts, wow, perfect lives, and you're becoming jealous of it. Also, in the area of health, you are feeling sick lately, or maybe a loved one who's having a health condition for a very long time, and you seem that there's no healing coming. And also, you've been heartbroken, and you seem that you're not good enough. People say that you, even though you do your best, you are still not enough, and your world starts to crumble. Also, you are experiencing mental health problems, anxiety, stress. Even the doctors already diagnosed you as depressed. And little by little by little, you didn't know that your vessel is being filled up with these doubts, with these uncertainties, with this feeling like you're hopeless, and just feeling you're in the dark. You see, if this container represents our lives in general, it only means that we let society, we let the world, we let other people, or even the devil, we let him fill our lives. But in 2 Peter chapter 1 verse 3, it says, God has given us everything we need for living a godly life. We have received all of this by coming to know Him. Friends, if you'll get to know the Creator, He'll begin to fill the areas that are filled by your problems. So I have here a living water, and this represents God. And I will say that again, we will receive everything that God has given us by coming to know Him. Now my question is, do you know God? Do you know Him? How can you make these problems come out in your life? First, you accept Christ as your Lord and Savior. You accept Him wholeheartedly in your life. And once you say that, you will start letting God fill you up. But then, yes, you accepted Him already. But nothing happens. You're asking, may Ginoo naman ako. I accepted Him. Receive ko naman Hiya. But kaya may dalagap mga problema. So you start spending time with Him. Wow, you spend time with Him. You pray to Him. What's worth it is worth continuing for. So by discipline, you keep on spending time with God. You pray to Him. Oh, you talk to Him every day. You read His Word every day, His Bible. You started to listen. You started to wait. And wait a little more. And be connected to a local church. Or a life group. Hear His Word through preachings. And almost going to church every Sunday. And boom. All your problems are not inside of you anymore. You let God pour into your life. You are filled by a living hope already. And if some may say, sukad lang to kadali, nawala dahil ng mga problems. Wow, magic. No. The problems are still here. Yes, they still exist. But it is not in you anymore. It is not bothering you inside anymore. Because they are just external things. And you have that peace of mind that, I have already my living hope in me. And there's a real fun part. This is what I'm very excited about. Once you get problems again, once there's a challenge coming through your life again, there is a challenge that is about to drag your life down, it will only stay on the surface. Whatever the devil tries to put in the dark, it doesn't have any power anymore because it will only stay in the surface and not inside of you. Got it? Amazing, right? That's how powerful our God is. And you who are watching right now, tell yourself, there is hope in the darkness. Tell it again, say it again until you believe it. There is hope in the darkness. And to end this message, I just want to encourage everyone to allow God to give you a purpose for your life. Allow God to be your hope. There is hope in the darkness. Tell that to yourself. Thank you so much for listening. God bless us all.